Hello, hello, hello. If you are new here, I want to thank you so much for joining today. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for your support. Gonna give it just a few more minutes here and we will get started with today's deal. And we will give an update on Gary the Groundhog. So I hope you all will stay tuned for that. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. Again, thank you again so much for joining. I want everyone to know that I really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, your shares. It means so much to me. It supports me in my channel. This is something that I started as a way to just keep my friends and family updated on my travels. And now that I've started my travel agency, my normal day for Dion's Deal of the Day is on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. But sometimes I have to tweak that depending on what I have going on in my work schedule. But typically they will be on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please sign up for alerts so that you don't miss when I'm either live or when I have a new video, when it posts. And please don't hesitate to like the video if you like it. I take constructive criticism really well. If there's something that you'd like to see more of, please let me know. I travel because that is what I enjoy doing with my free time. And I bring you all along sometimes if I can go live, or I just basically give you recaps of my trips. And so I don't really consider myself to be a content creator, in that particular space. But I do hope that you enjoy my travels, and I hope that you're learning something from them, that you're taking some of the tips and tricks that I put out, and that you're using them for yourself. Because it's a community, right? And we're all trying to save money. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the deal of the day. This is a 3-day Bahamas round trip from Miami to Nassau and Great Stirrup Cay. And this is on the Norwegian Getaway. That is ncl.com. So www.ncl.com. This is for a guaranteed inside cabin. That means that the cabin will be assigned by NCL sometime between now and by the time you get on the cruise. Gratuities are an additional $60 per person, and this sailing is on Friday, June 12th through Monday, June 15th, 2026. So it's only, you're only 12 days away, pretty much, 12 to 15 days away. At this particular point. So it's right around the corner. Full payment is required for this because, again, it is a last minute deal. You're going to have stops in Nassau, Bahamas, and Great Stirrup Cay. Unlimited bar with premium drinks. That is a promo that can be removed, and that's going to save $192 per cabin. So if you don't need the drinks, if one person signs up for it, the other person has to sign up for it. But if you don't need the drink package, then you can take another $122 off of this price. It also comes with one specialty dining meal per person. That is a promo as well that can be removed from the booking, and that's $40 per cabin. So that will just come right off the top. So you could definitely get on the boat cheaper if there are things that that you just don't need, right? There's no need keeping it and paying for it if you don't have to. You'll also get excursion credits and 150 minutes of Wi-Fi, and that is per person. They also offer ground transfers, and they do it from local airports. They do it to hotels and from hotels, so they have a lot of options for their transfers. And so I'm not quite sure if I'm not sure of the cost. I would have to update that if that is something that you are interested in. All right. And again, that is an additional cost if you do need a transfer. You still have your options, your ride sharing. You might even have shuttles from airports. But this is out of Miami, so you shouldn't have a problem. The only thing that I would be concerned about is the traffic in Miami. You have to leave in enough time. If you're driving, if you're flying, you definitely want to make sure that you're coming in the day before. Miami is known, there are going to be accidents, right? There could be accidents that could just totally shut down the traffic getting over a bridge to get you to the port. And you might end up trucking with your luggage, which is something that you 100% can do, right? But definitely just try to get there as early as possible. Definitely take it into consideration that Miami is high traffic at really every time of the day. So I would think about that. And then also, if you are flying, you want to make sure that your flights don't leave until like after 12. They say that they're docked by 7, but then you got to go through customs, you got to get everybody off the ship, and then you got to get your Uber, or if you're doing a transfer from the port to the airport, when you get those transfers, they fill up the bus before they head to the airport. So if you've got a flight that's leaving at 9 in the morning, you're going to be hard pressed making that. It's going to be difficult for you, right? Especially if you're doing a transfer. And it's really not going to be their fault if you do and then you miss the flight. So just look for something noon or after. You should be fine, but I wouldn't try for anything earlier than that. We did it once, and we almost missed our flight. That's why I'm saying don't do it. We ended up having to run from where we checked in. One of the people that were with us, she lost her heel broke on her shoe. They were literally closing the doors. So we made it on, but our luggage did not make it on. And we had to sit at the Atlanta airport for 4 hours waiting for our luggage. So it's not really fun. So definitely give yourself some time, give yourself some grace, and just get that afternoon flight. So why you're gonna love this one? It's perfect for couples, for friends, and it's also great for solo. This one has a great solo rate in that inside cabin. You don't have to do a solo cabin. The solo cabins were less expensive than this price, and I'll tell you about that. But they were out of solo cabins. But the solo cabin was coming in at $519. Um, Sorry about that. So, and then it's also, like I said, it's good for solo. The price is $475 per person, and then it's $950 for two, and that includes your taxes, fees. And again, that's the price that you're starting out at, but if you remove some of those promos, you're going to get it cheaper. And then it's $684 for a solo passenger. That is not too bad when you're looking at a 3-night cruise. You're getting your food, you're getting your transportation, you're getting your meals, you're getting your basic juices and, unsweetened teas. You get enough to where you could make it work and get on the ship and not spend another dime, right? So I would definitely say that is a good rate for solo. And it's from Miami, Florida to the Bahamas. So I can book your cruise because I am now certified with NCL. So I can book your cruise, I can book your flight, I can book your hotel, and I can book your excursions. And this is eligible for the Amazon e-gift card, and it's also eligible for the $5 give back campaign. All right, so that is our deal of the day. We are going to move on and give an update regarding Gary. So just give me just a minute. All right. So, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you will see that last Saturday, on my way home, it was around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I came across this little groundhog in the road. And I noticed that it wasn't moving. Well, it was moving, but it wasn't like scurrying across the road or anything like that. It was just kind of just sitting in the road. That particular street is not an extremely busy street, but it's got a blind spot. And so the only thing that I was really worried about was that this thing was going to get hit. And I could tell that it was a baby. But I got out the car and I'm looking around, and it's not startled by me. It's not running from me. It's just kind of sitting there and it's kind of looking around. It's kind of doing its thing, but it's not really moving. It's not going this way. It's not going that way. It's not doing anything. So I, did a little bit of a video, and then I called the police. And so I wanted them just to come out and just give me an assist, throw the lights on so I could try to grab it, because I didn't know if I tried to grab it, if it was going to go this way, if it was going to go that way. If it was injured or something, it just wouldn't move at all, right? I didn't know what was going to happen. So I didn't want to try without, having somebody who could provide some law and order to the situation. So once the police officers came, they got out. The female officer, she was so nice and so pretty too. But she walks up, and the gentleman, he does too, but she walks up, and then the little one, he just scurries. He just runs into the patch of grass, and then to a little wooded area, or grassy area, and she's like, "Oh, he ran over there," and then we're looking at him, and he's looking at us, and then he just goes down into a hole. So we're like, okay, he's going to find mama, right? We're good. So I go that way, coming home and going to work. So I went on my way to work the next morning, the 24th. And I thought I saw something in the road, but upon further inspection, it was just a big clump of grass because the grass had been cut. And so I was like, okay, cool. So, but on my way back from work, that was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I see him and he's laid out flat. And my heart just sank. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I tried to save him. And so I go because I know I don't want to see, all of that, because I come that way every day when I go to work. So I, went and looked. And then he was just like, he was doing the, I think I can. It was like, and I got so excited. So I started, I was filming and I was so excited that he was moving. And I'm like, you know what? This is it. I'm getting him. So that's what I did. Just so happened I still had my cat carrier in the car. And so I took that and a towel and a vest from work and I just threw it on him. And he did not move. He didn't even try to run, nothing. And I picked him up and put him in the carrier and then brought him home. And then I removed the vest and everything. I had him in the carrier and I had him outside and I said, I probably need to bring him inside. But I went online to see if there were any rescue groups. So I'm going to give you some information. And you don't have to worry about writing it down because when I finish with the deal of the day, I'm going to go in, I'm going to update my deal of the day with this information. So you're going to have all of this at your fingertips, okay? So when I went online to look to see who rehabs, groundhogs, I found the website www.A as in Apple, H as in Harry, NOW.org. And it's for Animal Help Now. So www.ahnow.org for the Animal Help Now. You go in there, you go to the website and you enter your zip code. And it will show you what rescue groups you have, how close they are, and that service your area. It will also tell you what animals they help. That way you're making sure that you're contacting someone who can, positively impact the situation. And so they provide their contact information, what animals they accept, their preferred method of contact. And most of them were by text. And so I sent the video that I made on Saturday and the video I made on Sunday so they could see the progress, so they could see what we were trying to do on Saturday and then now look at where he's at today. And a group got back to me so quickly, y'all. It was Sunday afternoon. And so the group that got back to me, and who's also going to be the recipient of the giving campaign for the 2026 to 2027 season, is Wildlife Rehab Group of South Carolina. They are a 501c3 company, and their web address, and this is going to be in the description as well, www.wildlife-rehab.com. Okay? Again, that's going to be in the information. So someone reached out and they said, okay, this is who's going to be doing the intake. And then that person reached out to me and they told me exactly what to do. They were like, throw a towel in the dryer and then, wrap them up in it and everything. And they, let me know where I needed to bring him. And that they were willing to take him. That was the biggest thing, that they were willing to take him. Because I find myself rescuing dogs and cats and shelters, and everybody's so overburdened and overwhelmed that there's nobody to take them. So you're just constantly just trying to rehome these animals by yourself, and it gets hard. So I understand it, but they were very willing to accept him. So I was very happy about that. And so, once I arrived at the location, I immediately felt at ease. The person came out. They were extremely nice and welcoming. The area where the pets are kept, it was clean and well organized and neat. And, they had other little groundhogs, and they had an opossum and squirrels, just, all of these animals that are in need of rehab, which is sad, but it was just so nice to see that they're being cared for so well. So great job. Great job. I won't be able to attend the release, and I do understand that because that is for the safety and the security of the animals, and I am so totally okay with that. They're just going to send me some pics and videos and just keep me updated on his progress. But Gary is doing well. As you can see, his little picture here, eating a little snack. I did ask, what do groundhogs like to eat? So they are herbivores, and they like spring mix, Timothy hay, broccoli and greens, outside plants like clover and dandelion, but they said his favorite is monkey biscuits. And he also likes apples, sweet potatoes, and bananas. Now, even if you don't book a flight or a cruise or anything from me, if you feel moved to give, please reach out to them. Just go to their website and they have the information there how you can make a donation. The important thing about this, no matter how it's given, right, is that we're doing things to take care of the animals. So definitely, if you are interested in giving and that's the means that you want to do so, please do so. And you can also give in honor of someone who's special and important to you in your life as well. So definitely, take a look into that. Now, as far as the giving campaign is concerned, I am still looking for a local shelter or rescue group. I prefer that it be for cats, but I'm willing for it to be for cats or dogs that services the Thomasville, North Carolina area. I do not want us to forget that the mission is to talk about domestic violence, right? And in memory of my aunt baby, this giving campaign is going to be something that I'm going to do year over year. And the way that it works is anything that sells and completes by the end of September, that's September 30th, and that's anything that's booked under me. As a travel agent, I only get paid after the trip has been taken, and it can take 2 or 3 weeks for me to receive that payment. And that's what the gifting campaign comes out of. So it's going to be $5 for any completed trip that you do with me. That will go towards that. And that will run from November 1st, okay, through September the 30th. The gift is actually given in October during National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But anything that completes in October will go to that recipient, that previous recipient, as long as it's paid out in October. So November 1st is the start of the next year. So I still don't have anyone for this year's payment. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm open. They just have to be a 501c3 and they have to be taking care of animals. Prefer cats, but we'll take cats and dogs as well. Or other small furry animals. It doesn't matter. 501c3. How about that? And then the Amazon gift card, that's a totally separate thing. That is dependent upon how much is spent before taxes and fees are calculated. And so depending on that, you'll receive an Amazon e-gift card within 60 days after the completion of your trip, because the same rules apply. I don't get paid until you complete the trip. And then once I do, then you're sent that. It is sent to the lead person on the booking. So if you are the person who's, putting together the travel and you're making all that stuff happen, put your name first. Put your name first. You need to be the one to get that e-gift card. And again, it is based on how much you spend. There isn't a limit. So if you book one trip with me and then you book another trip with me, there's no limit. The e-gift card is going to be something that I plan on just kind of keeping forever, because I'm always looking for the best deal, right? But you might find something that is better. If I put out something and you say, hey, I found this, let me know. I'll go and see if I can grab it. And if I can, that earns you something, right? And you're already going to get something if you use your rewards credit card or something like that. There's nothing wrong with earning just a little bit more on one trip. So so that's how I work it here. I also I do booking for friends and family. I also with the deal of the day, I'm only really looking to do about 5 cabins each, but I am going to get into a group tour for 2027. I've done a transatlantic cruise out of Southampton, Southampton, England. And it was a really great experience. I had a great time. And I really do feel that I could lead a trip there. So I'm going to put that together. And so if that is something that you're interested in, just subscribe to my channel, sign up for alerts, and look for those details. And if you are interested in this deal of the day, please send me an email to destinationswithdion@gmail.com with the subject line Gary. I will send you an email with asking for your information. Please only put the information that I am asking for. If you're already in the system, everything else is going to pull up for me, and I don't want all of your private information. So please only put the information that is in the form that I send you. Once you get that back to me, I will go ahead and submit it and send you your quote. And if you are prepared to make your booking, go ahead. Again, this has to be paid for at the time of booking, because it is less than 30 days. So we're in crunch time, right? So everything does have to be paid. Let's see here. So yes, put that in the subject line, Gary, for me. And once I close out this video, I will go in and I will update my description. That way you all will be able to have all of the information regarding the wildlife rehab group of South Carolina, and also the Animal Help Now. I want to thank everyone so much for joining my live this evening. I look forward to talking to you all next Wednesday for another deal. And if you're over on TikTok, subscribe to me over there. I'm going to start going live during the week, probably in the mornings or around noon probably. And just going to be talking about traveling and news, cruise news, RV news, because I have a lot of interest. So definitely follow me over there and sign up for the alerts here. Thank you again for watching, and remember, when fun is your destination, the possibilities are endless.